Hey there, hey there, hey there, my second live stream. I'm so excited. This light is really bad, but I wanted to make sure I committed yesterday that I would be hopping on live streams. And so you know what? I'm going to just hop on to my computer here. I'm going to share this real quick and make sure that everybody on my personal feed can see this as well. But today I'm going to be talking a lot about modesty in business and how modesty really holds you back, and my own personal story around how modesty has held me back in my own business and why that has been, that has been something that has been a real trigger for me. And so I really wanted to share with you that I don't share all my wins, right? Like, I have this real issue with sharing my wins with people online, with sharing my wins with all of you. And I would come into these sessions with my coach each and every week, and I'd be like, yeah, I've got all these great wins to tell you about. And she'd be like, great, are you blasting these everywhere? And I'm like, no, I can't do that. Like, I really just had this like whole, I can't do this. I need to like have some sense of modesty. I need to have some sense of like being. And it was really scary, right? It was super scary for me to kind of come out of my shell. And really what this comes down to was I was suffering from what I like to call justice syndrome. So justice syndrome essentially means that you feel like you are just a coach, you are just a mom, you are just a wife, you are just a whatever it is that you do, kind of insert title here, right? And so I was suffering from this justice syndrome, and I would have things happen. Like just a couple weeks ago, I was mentioned in Glamour magazine. That's a pretty big fucking deal, right? Like, pretty big deal to be in Glamour magazine. It was really incredible. It wasn't something, it just happened really organically. It was super cool. And I literally didn't blast it out anywhere. Like, my husband posted the article and a few of my friends liked it and things like that. And I was just like, oh, like super, I didn't even know what happened. Honestly, the reporter she mentioned me, and I received it through Google Alert. That's the only reason I even knew about it. And so I don't love to talk about myself, but I realized that I really needed to step up into my own fucking power. Like, I really needed to step up into my power. I needed to own it. I needed to be in it. I needed to live it. And I needed to start sharing my stories and sharing my wins with my community, because at the end of the day, other people are uplifted by your wins. And sometimes we really sit back in this fear of modesty, and really that's all it is. It's a fear, right? It's a fear of judgment. It's a fear of being boastful. It's a fear of like making others feel bad, because really and truly that like holds up a mirror to you and yourself. And to say, like, sometimes I feel bad when I compare myself to other people who have had great successes. Now, that's not really an issue with them. It's an issue with us, right? So when you are sharing your wins and your successes, what we need to realize is that other people need to see that, and they need to feel that to understand what is potential for them. Like, they really do need to see that, like, hey, I'm Heather, I'm this small town farm girl, I live in little like Chatham, Ontario, where nobody knows where that is, right? And yet I can create this like killer 7-figure business, and people need to see that, people need to hear that. And yet my modesty really holds me back from telling people this. And in turn, I have to say that you as my community are also held back because of that, because you may have similar stories going through your head around like, well, I just live in this small town. I need to move to Toronto, to New York, to Vancouver, to LA, like to this super big place in order to make shit happen. And that just isn't the truth, right? Like, it's only when we share our gift with the world that we can really, really, really continue to shine, that we can really step into our shine, and we can really show people who we are. So I just wanted to step on here and let you guys know and let you guys in on how, like, I've really struggled with this modesty. I've really struggled with this fear of giving you and sharing you with you my wins. And this has all really come from a place of feeling that feeling that shame, feeling that like, when people share their wins, I start to like compare myself to them. And I was so afraid of doing that to other people that it's held me back. And as a result, I feel like I've probably held some of you back, and I apologize for that, right? Because at the end of the day, if you don't see my wins and you don't see what's possible and you don't see other people's wins and you don't see what's possible for them, then how will you rationalize what's possible for you? And how will you let go of your own fears and your own limitations if that doesn't happen? So really, I find that, you know, it is our duty to live up to our greatness. It is our duty and our responsibility to live up to the amount of success that we can create in our lives, right? So I think that that's super important for us to really tap into and for us to really see. So that modesty has really, really struggled. You know, it's so funny because I would kind of tap into the same one or two testimonials, and it was always like kind of the same stories all the time because I was comfortable sharing them. And there were so many other really cool wins that I've had in my life. Like, we have this crazy thing coming, honestly. So one of the things that has my modesty and my shame and all of these things have really held me back from is I have what I like to call sort of a pedestal effect. And I would literally put people that I perceived as being more successful than me up on a pedestal, and they were untouchable to me, right? Like, they were sort of like, well, I can't ask them if they want to collaborate on this because I'm not at the same level of them. And we look for ways that we validate this in our life, right? So I remember watching a Periscope back, I want to say in the summer, right? I think it was back in August or September. And I watched this Periscope, and it was a really big name in the entrepreneur world. And I can remember her saying, you know, if you want to be doing joint ventures and partnerships with people who are in the game, who have skin in the game, you need to first build up your audience to at least as big as that person's is before you can collaborate with them. And because this was a story that I had been telling myself, I sought this as validation that has to be true, right? That I need to be building up my own audience, and I need to collaborate with people who are really small and continue playing small, really, because that's all that lends itself to. I need to continue playing small by collaborating with other people who are at the same level as I am, which that's not going to get you anywhere, right? Like, I mean, if you play with people who are at the same level as you are, then you're going to stay at that level. Like, you're not going to keep continuing to up-level and up-level and up-level and up-level from there. And so I saw this Periscope, and it resonated so deeply with me that I really felt into myself like, shit, this was the story that I've been telling myself. And because this is the story I've been telling myself, I sought this as validation. Like, see, it must be true, right? And so you get into kind of like this, that must be true. And I had this story, and finally I've decided to really step up into my own fucking power. And now I have this amazing, incredible thing coming out in just a few weeks. I can't tell you what it is yet, but I gotta tell you guys, it is with some like super women, like some super high power people, and we have these incredible guests coming on. It's going to be all totally free for you guys. It's going to be insane. And I gotta tell you, it only happened because I started sharing my wins. I started stepping up into my power. I started stepping outside of this justice syndrome. I started sharing my like what it was that I was capable of. And I decided to put myself up on that pedestal with these other players and just to go out and ask them. And literally that's all it took, was me asking a few people and saying like, hey, do you want to do this? And they're like, yeah, I want to do this. And I'm like, holy shit, right? Holy shit. So no matter where you're playing at, I know that, you know, I spoke with somebody earlier today as well, and they were like, oh my gosh, like I was afraid to talk to you. And so really she put me on a pedestal. And so we all do it. We all do it no matter where you are in your business. And, you know, really and truly, you have to kind of step up and to say, I'm worth this. I provide a shit ton of value, right? So I'll tell you guys a little bit more about what that is when it's coming, but I want to tell you one other thing. So I am currently looking and working at negotiating out this like really, really cool space. And my favorite place in the entire world. It just had to be here, like had to be in this spot. I won't tell you where it is yet, but it is going to be a 3-day intensive mastermind event for anybody who is looking to just like completely blow up their business. And like, I mean, I'm going to be giving you the strategies that has allowed me to collaborate with people who are making multiple 7 and 8 figures. I'm going to be looking at and giving you the strategies that allow me to take multiple different types of business and get them into 6 figures, 7 figures. Like, crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, I'm going to be telling a little bit more about this over the next coming months, but holy shit, guys, like the actual suite that we are booking for this is like, there's only 15 hotels in the entire world that are at the same level. All right, like that's how cool it is. That's how big it is. That is how like fucking huge it is. All right, so wanted to put that out there for you guys, but you know, kind of taking it right back here, no matter what it is that you're doing, if you just want to continue to consume the free content that I put out there, consume these live streams, I'd love to hear from you guys. Send me a message, like whatever it is that you want to do. If you just want to continue consuming the free, or if you're here for a reason, and you really are loving the content and you want to work with together further, I would love that. Shoot me a message and we can definitely talk through the details. But no matter what it is, I'm so excited that you've been here. I'm so excited that you joined me here on my second ever live stream. Kind of crazy. And step up, right? Step up already. All right. We will talk to you soon. Bye.